Now we can begin. Yes, Placid. You already know you have charges of murder, attempted murder,
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
terrorism, and treason.
Yes, I do,
Now,
Your Honor.
and you plead
I plead not guilty to all of those charges.
very well. Prosecution, if you'd like to begin your case.
Matt, do you want to go first or me?
Hmm?
I think you should go first,
You go
Matt.
first. You go first.
You think I should go? Okay, right.
I think you should go first.
I'm gonna do the old Your Honor. Right, hello. So as you just said, we're suing Placid for attempted murder, griefing, terrorism, and treason in the form of corruption.
Placid, sit the fuck down.
This is due to a number of things, all of which I have as a 7-hour long. Actually, no, it's 3 files in total, adding up to 7 hours of footage on my hard drive detailing the events of yesterday and the day before. In which is included Placid breaking the court windows, having access to moderator and operator, which I see as unlawful, killing Matt upwards of 20 times, killing me once, and yeah. And he tried to burn the Constitution, which I luckily saved and put in my ender chest.
Alright. Your Honor, 2 of those things aren't even illegal. The Constitution was a book of laws that I was writing in accordance with Henry, although I wrote most of the lyrics. I kept it in my ender chest. And I secured it, and I wrote actually everything. Henry just gave me suggestions on what to write. So it wasn't Henry's. And then when I tried to discard of it, because it was my book and it was my possession, I had the right to discard it. Henry stole it. So Henry, I'm charging you with stealing because you stole my book and then you put it in your under chest. So you just stole my book.
Objection. Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as due to its nature as a law book, it belongs to the people.
But only I could have ratified it, and I didn't. So it's not a law book. It's just a book of words at this point.
I have a secondary objection.
You can't object. You're the lawyer.
Was you?
That's
Oh, wait,
that's
no.
kind of what the lawyer does.
Why can 2 of you object? No, only Matt can object. Henry can't object then, since he's
Well,
Matt's the lawyer.
will you sustain my objection?
Yeah.
All right. I believe Placid just said that the words in the book were lyrics. Is this true?
No, they're
So I will
They're
I will
equivalent-
poke a
they're-
hole
I
in
don't-
that. How do we know
they're
he's telling the truth? If he's just lied about the content of the book.
what are you talking? They're
I
just
don't see
words
how
in a
this
book.
has any
They're-
You
okay.
just said they were lyrics. That's a
Objection.
lie.
They're
You've lied in
Shut
the
up.
courtroom.
Shut up.
objection,
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor. I was comparing them to words in a book because since they were not ratified as laws, they were laws that I was going to ratify. But since I did not ratify them yet, they were just basically a book of words, not laws at all.
Objection.
So Matt's entire statement is what?
No. Can I object?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do need to ask.
Oh, okay. I was just. It doesn't. You're right in saying that they weren't officially passed laws. However, even though they didn't actually mean anything in legality aspects. They still meant a lot to the people who would be protected under these laws. Which is why it falls under terrorism.
Nobody knew it was being written, and also nobody knew it was being written. And also, it was my book that you just stole, so it's not terrorism.
Objection.
At all. It's not terrorism at all.
Chief Justice.
How is that terrorism? Kenzie, are you terrified by me trying to burn my own book?
Chief Justice, were you aware that me and Carlos too were writing new laws?
Yes, I was.
And how did you feel when you heard that the person who's supposed to be protecting the people had attempted to burn the laws, effectively?
Well, what reason did you have to burn these unofficial laws?
Oh, because Henry was trying to write it, and in defiance of Henry's
Objection.
betrayal.
As Placid said.
Stop interrupting me.
As Placid said I'm illegally allowed to. As Placid said 5 minutes ago,
I'm
he
trying to
wrote.
get my,
As Placid.
Just
As Placid said 5 minutes ago, he wrote the book solely with my suggestions. I did not write this. I did not write any of it.
I said in accordance with Henry. So in his what he thought would be should be added, I added to it. What I thought should be added, I added to it. But I wrote the entire book, and it was my book. I kept it in my under chest, and I owned it. So it was my book that he stole, and he still hasn't given it back. So I can charge him for stealing.
I can return it at any time.
Yeah, but you haven't.
Do you want me to
Gotcha.
return it now?
No, but it still doesn't matter. You stole it.
What about the book you stole from me?
That wasn't. Henry gave me that book. So it
no,
wasn't stolen
actually,
at all.
you gave Henry that book.
No, actually, Henry gave it to me because I asked him for books, and he gave it to me.
No, not that book.
Matt, shut up.
The correspondence between me and Bonk.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Henry
Yeah.
gave it to me, you idiot.
No,
He gave it to me.
Henry couldn't have given that to you. Henry, that wasn't in your possession, was that?
Well, actually, he did, because, that's how I have this book.
I don't remember.
I don't know. You have it on tape, Henry. You have it on the cutting room floor.
Actually, I don't have that on
I've
tape.
seen that tape, and
Actually,
in that
you
tape,
also have it on
you
camera
handed
that you
to
said.
Henry.
Actually,
You
Matt,
handed
you
to
also
Henry.
you also have it on tape that Henry said that he found the book in Toby's chest.
Toby wouldn't have had that.
Well,
Unless
he
he
did,
had stolen
and Henry
it from
said
me,
it
but,
on.
I know
Henry
for a
said
fact
it.
he
Henry,
didn't.
Henry recorded. He said it, so you can say, "Oh man, that didn't happen at all." To try to save face, but it actually did happen, Matt, and you're just lying.
No, actually, I wasn't given that information. Like you were supposed to.
What are you talking about? You're just lying.
I believe I am not.
Could you
Well-
shut the fuck up now? There we go. Very
Mm.
nice.
All
Okay,
right,
if
Your
you'd
Honor,
like to
can I-
move on now from the book thing.
Yes. Can I give my case, Your Honor?
No.
I believe I've said vaguely what I need to about the windows. The windows were replaced. However, the damage was done prior, and it shouldn't be allowed to
0.5
happen in the
seconds
first
after,
place.
After they were broken, they were replaced. Wow.
The treason in the form of corruption charges come in as when I was sending a message to Matthew through /whisper, which means that only me and Matt should be able to see it. Placid was able to see it. For this reason, I have no clue. I don't know why this is allowed. Clearly, AJ has been up to his old tricks again, but there is no reason that he should have any more power than us. Therefore, it falls under corruption.
AJ, that the president should have more power besides just being, a one power, a puppet for AJ. Because let's face it, AJ has all the power here, and I wanted to turn it from peaceful to normal without having the trouble of having to ask AJ. And AJ gave me operator, and I still can't turn it to peaceful to normal. The only things I can do is messages. And so, by Henry's logic, we should also prosecute AJ for having operator and being the owner. We should also prosecute you for being Chief Justice. You can't just prosecute
Objection.
people in power. And also, I was
Objection.
elected to this. Henry, I was elected to this office, so you can't just, Oh,
I
Mr.
was as
President, you
well,
have
and
more
that
than
power
me.
was not given to me.
Well, because you were a horrible president, and you were it though.
That's
Objection.
completely objective.
Henry, yep, accepted.
You should not be able to sue Toby because he doesn't have any powers that like any other player could have. He worked hard for his armor. He has not got any like moderator abilities, unlike you. There is no reason for you to have power. Matt was president as well, and as he said, he never got the powers. AJ has the powers, but AJ never uses them like in a bad way,
Yeah.
except to turn it on peaceful.
Okay, well, I would have called Matt to the stand, but since Matt died, Matt wanted to make a gold farm, and my power would have been able to help him make a gold farm. So my power would have been used for good, and I had basically no power besides turning fire stick on and off and seeing messages.
Objection.
And might I add, Your Honor, that the message was keep the beacon in your chest. So.
Objection. The quote was don't forget to put the beacon in your e-chest.
Henry told Matt to put a beacon in his e-chest, and basically encouraging him to do. And
Objection.
Your Honor, we've set a precedent.
Accepted.
It's not encouraging him to dupe. Beacons don't inherently mean duping. Placid, do you own a sword?
Yeah.
Does that mean you're going to stab people?
Completely different.
It's
Beacons
not.
have one purpose.
You see, Placid likes to say.
I've never seen anyone besides me use a beacon for its actual intended purpose.
Placid likes to claim that telling him to put the beacon in his chest is proof of me having knowledge of duping. However, that's false, because earlier that day, Placid had stolen the beacon from Matt. This was before AJ set the world back by 52 minutes. So that he was shouted, "Matt has beacon, AJ, I have the second beacon."
Yeah, because
proving
he was
my
duping
knowledge
with that
of the beacon.
AJ,
Where is your
Matt
proof
even
of
told me-
this?
Matt told me he was
Objection.
duping with that beacon, and also Matt told
Objection.
me. Objection. Matt told me that he was duping with that beacon. He even told me. He said, "AJ, let me
Objection.
dupe with this beacon."
I have
Denied.
a
Said it to me.
license from the server moderator that I can duplicate blocks specifically for the
I
purpose.
said denied.
But you see, Matt, the thing is, I DM'd AJ, and he said he denied all of this. That this never happened.
Do I
So
need to show you my
basically-
license? I'll go put
do
it
I
in
need
my
to show you the
in my
DMs? I have
evidence right now.
I have DMs of AJ saying that this never happened.
I
And
have
so
DMs
Matt-
of him telling me that I could
Well, he's also
that I
said
could
the
use it.
opposite, and also he's the server owner. So basically, by the server owner's own words, Matt duped without a license. Matt duped to get an unfair advantage, and so Matt is a criminal. And by the
Your
president-
Honor, objection.
Please check
Yes.
Placid versus Matt.
At this
Let
point,
me say
it
this,
seems
let
to
me say
be
my case.
at this point it seems to be his word against ours. So could I ratify this point invalid? No one gets an edge. It's just no. Seeing as it is just his word against ours.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I have it on tape that Matt said.
And I have it. I have it in evidence.
Yeah, and I
Check
also
it right
have
now.
AJ seeing that you didn't.
No.
You shouldn't have been duping.
No, check it.
So it's
Check
either,
it
it's either
right
AJ's
now.
fault, but the fact of the matter is, AJ said both things according to both of us. He said both things. Fact of the matter is, you duped, which is illegal.
I don't
You
see
should be
any
banned
evidence
without-
from you, and
By
I've
the,
just
by the
presented
rules,
mine.
by the rules, you should be banned without trial.
No,
But you still haven't, which is an oddity.
because
And
I've
also-
been given
also, by
specific
the
permission from the server
precedent-
moderator.
Okay, Your Honor, the precedent we've set with cheaters and dupers on this world is when Mar was duping, and we suspected him of duping, we saw that he was duping. I conducted an operation to kill him, and stop him and ban him, because we've set a precedent that if you are duping, you will be banned and killed without trial and without chance of court. This has been a precedent set by Mar, and he was later known to be hacking and using toolbox hacks. And so I killed Matt and Henry. I do confess to that. I killed Matt and Henry, but it's because they were breaking the law. And we've set the precedent that if you break the law, you relinquish your rights to any trial. And so the fact that they're suing me makes no sense.
Objection.
Because they were cheating and breaking the law. That you should be in prison right now.
Object.
Yep, go on.
Placid is claiming that if you're a cheater, you don't deserve rights anymore, which is false, because by
Well,
his
that-
own logic, him having access to moderator is cheating.
What?
And if we deny his logic and
Henry-
say that he's allowed to have it because AJ said he could have it, then Matt's allowed to dupe because AJ said he could.
Henry, there's a difference. Okay, you see a drug dealer who's rich, and then you see a business owner who's rich. There's a difference because one is dirty money and one is actual money. I earned my presidency because I was voted in by the people in a landslide twice. And Matt wasn't, and I was voted in
What
a
a
landslide
pharmacist.
twice. And that's why I have the advantage that I have. I made this armor and tools by scratch, and because I worked hard for it, that's why I have the advantage. But what you did, you created an unfair advantage. You duped, and he wasn't allowed
I did
to
the
dupe.
same.
Yeah, can I?
No, you duped. That's an unfair advantage,
False.
and it's you can't just say false to facts. What are you?
It's
Republican?
blatantly false.
Right.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm just going to say, AJ is not allowed to give out a permit for duping just because he is the owner.
Well, I mean,
But he's
nobody
also-
informed me of
Matt-
that
and he
prior to
also
the
said
occasion.
that he never did that, and so
Nobody informed me of that prior to the occasion. So why should I be
You
tried
do.
for that?
and since no permits were allowed, Matt should be in jail right now, and he has no right to sue me because he's relinquished
Well,
his rights.
The Henry's still
Same
suing.
thing
me.
happened. Same thing happened to Mar, and same thing's happening to you, man. You can't sue me at all because you duped.
I'm not suing you though. We already agreed Henry.
Oh, you also said that you had additional charges against me. Those charges are null and void. And
Yeah.
Henry also stole my possessions, and so Henry committed a crime, and so he can't sue me either. Because
Well,
he
then-
committed a
But
crime.
you
He
committed
stole my-
multiple crimes.
Yeah, objection. By his own logic.
No, let me
Hey,
talk
shut
You
the
shouldn't
fuck
be
up.
countersuing us.
Your Honor, let me talk about those crimes. So the treason crime, Henry says I committed treasons in two ways. I tried to burn my book, that is just the book of laws that weren't even ratified yet. It was just a book of words.
Objection. That was the terrorism
Ramble.
charge.
Well, there's also terrorism isn't that doesn't classify as terrorism at all. Terrorism would be killing an elected official.
Objection.
That
I
doesn't
felt
classify-
terror and I felt unsafe upon your attempted burning of what was soon to be the
people feel
laws.
terror from holes. That's not that doesn't classify as terrorism in our world. And also, Your Honor, the griefing charge, I broke 2 windows and then I replaced them instantly. Guess what Matt and Henry did right after that? They went into my tower, broke 2 windows, and instead of replacing them instantly, they put them in a different spot, having for me to replace them. And so, technically, I should be suing them for griefing too. By your own accordance, I should be suing you for griefing.
Objection. We were planning on replacing them. We were planning on replacing them, except we were chased out of his tower. I was hit once and Matt was murdered.
Well,
I would have gone back to replace them, but I was clearly not welcome because I almost died. So I feel it was perfectly within my right to self-defense if I ran away before I was able to replace them.
I broke them and replaced them instantly.
Ah. Placid, what did you think of that? Seeing as you can read /W.
Yeah, but you're not charging me for that, are you?
Toby, what Matt just whispered to me, which Placid can read due to his moderator status, Matt said, he said terrorism is killing an elected official, which he did. So if you'll cast your mind back to the first revolution, who was the one who murdered an elected official?
Yeah, I did, but also,
This
go back to the
isn't
first
relevant.
revolution too. Who killed all of my villagers? That was you, Henry. Who killed all of my villagers? Which was a crime. That was you, Henry.
Objection, was I...
Can we please keep on topic here? We're
Yeah,
really
exactly.
going
We're
off
going
into
back to
loads of
science,
other crimes.
Exactly. They're trying to charge me for something that was completely a
Well,
long
we'll
time
add
ago.
that to the
And
charges
that
then.
is null and
No,
void. You can't
you
even sue me,
can't.
Matt. You're a duper.
We
You should
have
be in jail right
okay.
now.
We were suing him for terrorism. We're adding that evidence. That is
There's
further
no-
evidence of his terroristic ways.
There's no terror. There's no terror at all.
That's not what terrorism is. You've just defined terrorism
Okay,
as
there's no
killing an
terror
elected
at,
official.
There's no terror at all because did you sue me right after you came back? Or are you suing
No,
me now
because
out
we've
of
decided to
spite?
present that evidence when we need to, which is
Oh,
right now.
Right when it's useful.
Yeah, that's technically
But
what
also,
we do
okay,
in a court of law.
logic, Matt should be banned right now since he duped a long time ago. Matt should be banned right now.
All right, if
Oh,
you're
he
gonna
also
ban me,
stole-
then ban me.
he also-
Get
he
AJ
also-
on. Remove
he
me from the
also
server.
Another star. He should be banned right now. By his
I
logic,
didn't.
he should be banned. But no, you're still here.
This
That was a long time ago.
can we have a sidebar?
Yeah.
No, I don't know how we do that.
Should we switch to another channel or just tell Kenzie and Llama to pretend they're not hearing anything?
Right. I also have some other stuff I need to talk about.
Plaster, just mute them.
Or
something, I
deafen
don't know.
them? Yeah.
No, that's what I meant.
Oh,
They're
Kenzie's
on-
already deafened, so...
Yeah, just deafen him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna deafen him. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Okay, is everyone gone?
Not quite.
Hold on. I'm lagging. Don't say anything important. Don't say anything important. I'm lagging. Don't say anything important, son of a bitch.
Important.
Blasted.
Ah, he's back.
I think it's fixed. What was that? What were you guys saying?
Okay, I think that we might have to stand for a not a retrial, a mistrial
What
for
was that?
this because of this new evidence
Mm-hmm.
of Matt duping and AJ giving out permits.
Which he's not allowed to do.
Well, somebody should have informed me of that prior. I don't think that's really something you can charge me on.
There is
Well,
nothing in the rules that says AJ can or can't give out warrants.
Yeah.
He can't.
Yeah, but you know he can or can't, which means it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Which means you duped.
So I mean, you can't really charge me on that.
Well, we can, and
It's kind
You
of
will.
it's null and void.
Wait, hold
No,
on.
there's
There's
not.
nothing
cla-
saying I could. There was
It-
nothing
it's happened
saying I
recently.
can't. There were no rules at this point in time either.
to
I was just given
clarify,
a permit and said, hey, Make sure you
Wait.
have this done by this certain
Wait,
date.
wait,
so
wait,
Well, he
wait.
also said that he never gave you a permit.
But
He
I
also
can't
said
tell you that because that's,
Matt, you duped. Stop
That's
trying to get
between
around.
four
Wait,
specific
hold on.
Can you let Henry
Wait,
speak?
yeah, to clarify, Matt, did you approach AJ asking for a warrant, or did you only did AJ approach you saying, do you want to dupe to, like, help build the bunker?
Technically speaking, I told AJ, I was gonna need assistance, maybe some creative mode stuff from him, because it's going to take me a long time, and I won't have the time to gather those specific materials before the specific date.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
he said,
read out
"Oh,
my DMs
well,
with AJ.
Dupe stuff, and I'll ignore it."
Yeah, but I'm gonna read out my DMs with AJ. I already know you let Matt dupe materials because he told me. I said that, and AJ said what? If you want to loosen duping restrictions, I don't know about that. I don't trust anything shady they've done. They've tried suing you for barely anything. When did I let that happen? Says AJ, and I said that Matt
Shall
said
I go
it.
read? Shall I go read my evidence
He
then?
could be lying.
Hmm.
Okay, and then I said Matt has 2 beacons in his possession, and he said AJ let me dupe for materials, and AJ says I didn't let him at all. Unless they were really stupid, they would have duped an extra beacon. So
For
AJ
instance,
basically
I
said,
might pass a blind eye if you happen to dupe some building materials
but he also
for
said that
making
he
a
didn't let
build
you
faster,
duping
if you
at
know
all.
what I'm saying.
He also said he didn't let you duping at all.
Well, look at the screenshot that I have.
Well, look
the
at
chat.
this screenshot.
Your Honor.
Oh fuck, my RAM's full.
I believe, again, seeing as it is another case of his word against ours, it should be considered null, and the charge should be dropped.
Actually, it's AJ's word against yours.
And AJ has in both cases said something and contradicted himself.
Well, okay, my logic, you go to jail for duping.
By my logic, I was given a legal permit to do so.
Is anything stated in hashtag rules that he's allowed to do that?
No, because he just rewrote the
No,
hashtag
no,
rules about
okay,
the
There
date.
is nothing-
Pay
You just
attention
answered
to
my
the date
question.
on
There
the
is
screenshot.
there is nothing
Matt,
in
you just answered my question. Matt, you just answered my question.
There
No,
is nothing
so you
in
can't try
hashtag-
for duping.
there is nothing in
Because there
hashtag
were no rules.
there is nothing in
There was
hashtag
nothing.
rule, Matt. There is nothing in hashtag rules that states AJ can give out permits. However, there's nothing to say he can't.
And
Yeah,
again,
Therefore,
nothing in
it should be
hashtag rules that says
counted.
AJ can't
Therefore, this I
just
I
shut down the
believe
entire-
this.
There's nothing in hashtag rules that says AJ can't just shut down the entire realm for no reason. But that shouldn't happen either way. You shouldn't have duped either way, and that permit is
for
null.
the
It
purpose,
shouldn't have happened either way.
because there is nothing saying he can or nor can't. I believe this charge should be dropped and considered null. Considering
However-
we could go on for hours trying to say it is or it isn't, because there is
does
no.
say you can't dupe.
whatsoever. And if you
Again,
do, you will be banned
Tony,
without trial.
look at the date that the screenshot is from, and look at the date the rules were posted.
And also look at
I received my permit multiple days before those rules were posted.
This is gonna have to be another trial with either you suing AJ or Matt or both.